Fix it, Kamala. Sandwich meat should not be $10 a pound.
Never underestimate a college football slate.
I mean, I said Vandy over 3 wins, and I remember your face like, what the fuck are you talking about?
The Big Bets on Campus podcast.
All right, here we go.
What's up, Degenerate Nation? Welcome to the Big Bets on Campus podcast. This is the Week 6 betting recap. I'm Stucky, and joining me, as always, Colin Wilson. Oh, baby. What a day of college football. We talked a lot about the next couple of slates and how good they are. But I always say, never underestimate a college football slate. When you least expect it, it just gives you pure gold throughout the day. Alabama. Number 1, Alabama goes down. We're going to hear a lot about Diego. I listened to the voicemails. We'll get to them in a moment. Number 4, Tennessee goes down to your Hogs. We'll get to them in a moment. Number 9, Missouri gets bushwhacked. Absolutely taken out behind the woodshed. Taken out behind the shed and put down. That was a good call by you. I had no feel there. Number 10, Michigan goes down. Washington gets their College Football National Championship revenge. USC goes down. Minnesota was able to survive a brandishing weapon personal foul on the last drive. And undefeated Rutgers even went down. You know who's still winning? Unfortunately for you in your JMU playoff bet. ULM.
I wondered how long
ULM's only loss is to
there.
Texas. Should you bet ULM to go to the playoff?
Jesus Christ. It was 90-1 to win the Sun Belt. I said it on the new BCS. I just hesitated, you know?
Yeah, I talked you out of that. I shouldn't have. But it was an insane day. Tell me about your watching the Hogs. Where were you?
All right. First off. Woo, big Stewie, like containing my excitement about going through that as a fan, going through that, sharing that with your family, sharing that with your friends. It was a much needed dose of medicine to the fan base that has struggled with this identity. Taylon Green getting hurt. The handicap was spot on. The defense played out of their mind. And here we are 25 years after we rushed the field, pulled down the goalpost because Anthony Lucas is pulling down Clint Sterner passes, getting revenge from the stumble and fumble in 98. Here we all over again. Our fan base needed it. It was great. Yesterday stuck. I can't, to get past what happened in Fayetteville, which is hard to do because it was a big part of my night. 6 of the 7 in the round robin piece, the video that I put out every week hit. It was 25x the bet that I made. So everybody that followed along, I enjoy it because that's the 1 week that we need where you hit 6 of 7. It pays off the rest of the round robins for the rest of the year. SMU over, like on the podcast, like, are you interested in this game? I'm like, I got to sit back. I got these SMU win total overs. And for so much shit that I put through is week 0, week 1, how bad that Nevada game is. Ponies are rolling against a soft ACC schedule. And then finally, let's just get into it. I said Vandy over 3 wins, and I remember your face like, what the fuck are you talking about? Vandy, I said, I don't know where they're getting an SEC win. I don't know where they're getting an SEC win. That's at least a push now.
Diego. How mad are the group of 5 guys? They don't get. I've stolen all their thunder. I've taken over the Pavia. I'm the president of the Pavia fan club. What a game that was. There's a lot of voicemails talking about that, but yeah, it was it's a good day, good bounce back week for me. We'll get to best call, worst call, bet regret in a minute, but let's jump right into the voicemails, talk about some of the games from there.
Fellas, John from Long Island, Charles Ponzi, Bernie Madoff, and Diego Pavia. Holy shit. I declare this day, from here on out, the Ponzi scheme is officially over. Holy. I'm going to keep this short and sweet. Diego, let's go.
The SEC wasn't ready for Diego Pavia. Covers against Missouri, should have won the game, takes down Alabama outright. Kentucky better get ready because he's coming for you next. You Stucky and your Ponzi scheme. Shout out to Ianello and Calabrese. Hit the music. Diego!
Colin, Stuck. This is Mark. Usually, I would go crazy, out of this world for Diego Pavia. But, in the middle of this game, I threw a couple hundo on the money line. You felt the Diego mojo of what was going to happen. And I have no skin in the fight besides money. Favorite college football player of all time. This kid, good for him. Anchor down. Go Commodores. Alabama, you just got.
Guys, I'm actually at the park, and usually when I come to the park with the kids, I'm not happy. But you know what? I'm happy right now. And there's one man I have to thank for that. Diego. Boys, we did it. Stucky, you're back. Colin, yeah, you got this one right too. So congratulations. Celebrate the win, and onward to the rest we go.
Hey, boys. I offered to read stories to my 3-year-old, but we're in here just watching Diego just take down the Titan. It's glorious. My son asked, who's that? And I said, he's the Ponzi scheme, the hero, the one we all needed, the person we don't deserve. Never a doubt. Cash that ticket. Let's go, baby.
Guys, this is Chris in Virginia calling from the toilet. My dad is visiting from Long Island, doesn't really get college football as much, so I needed a quiet place to call so he doesn't think I'm a psycho. But Charles Ponzi, Bernie Madoff, Diego Pavia. Enough said. Ride to the bank.
You're up.
Yeah, I tweeted out in some point in the second half. I said Bama's losing this game. They were coming back, but it just felt that way. It felt like Vandy was the better team. I mean, I'm shocked their defense held up as well as it did. The game plan was there. 42 minutes time of possession. Just controlled the ball the entire time. Bama obviously came out flat. Yeah, pick 6 early. Vandy jumped them right before then to go up 7-0. And look, there was some talking to some people close to the program. I believe that Jerry Kill helped DeBoer or gave him his first job, maybe at Southern Illinois, way back in the day. There was some quiet confidence coming out of Vandy that they were going to have success going at this Alabama defense with the misdirection, Pavia creating, hitting enough explosives, and then just controlling the clock, keeping the Bama offense on the sidelines. And then being able to just run out the clock at the end was super impressive. Vandy now 1-60 against top 5 teams. 1-60. DeBoer, all the credit in the world to him. But Saban doesn't lose that game. He's still one of the best coaches in college football, but Saban finds a way to have them buttoned up early in that game. So yeah, it was an impressive win. What do you got to say? I mean, Pavia as a dog, it's going to be a double-digit dog again. I think they go to Kentucky this week. We'll talk about that later in the week. But just super impressive all around. Awesome atmosphere by it. That's what college football is all about. It was from 4 o'clock on. I got a rant coming on Penn State. Don't worry. But from 4 o'clock on, I don't think I lost a bet outside of the Baylor under. Terrible call there. I'll say that's my worst call because Penn State had closed 30.5 or whatever it did. So I can't be too mad at that. But I have a rant coming for James Franklin. I will say that's what college football is all about. All these upsets. The goalpost on Broadway, the goalpost being ushered out of the stadium, people hanging on to it. I think, as you said, the future engineers, lawyers,
doctors and lawyers.
And that goalpost heading down Broadway. It's amazing. Good for Vandy. It's been just nothing but suffering for so long. So to beat the first ever win ever a number 1 team. Awesome. So college football is all about. The college football is wide open. I don't know who's going to make it. It's everyone that was penciled in before yesterday. I mean, not everyone, but a bunch of teams are all lost. It's crazy.
We have such a big week coming up with so many huge games, but I have to sit back and look at all the conference standings and the odds because it really is wide open. I want to talk real quick about something. These post-game win expectancies come out. I have so much deep respect for what SP Plus puts out, and I, respect all the numbers that they put out. But it is just a known fact that Service Academy post-game win expectancies and Service Academy success rates don't apply to those formulas. And so what you're going to see is that Vanderbilt was
like 3 yards is like a success a lot of times, which
exactly.
is not considered a success.
And you go for it on fourth down. Those post-game win expectancies only go to third down. They don't take in fourth down. And so what you're going to hear is, well, Vanderbilt was just 1.8% post-game win expectancy to win that game. I get it. They were 38% in running plays on 54 running plays. I get that Alabama was 8.7 yards per play and Vanderbilt was 5.6 yards per play. Huge gap. Here's the problem and why post-game win expectancy can't sum up Service Academies and Vanderbilt with Diego running it. 22 first downs for Vanderbilt. Every first down is at least 30 seconds, 3 minutes off the clock. 4 downs, 30 seconds, 22 first downs. Do the math, 42 minutes. It doesn't matter what the success rate is on rushing plays as long as you get 3 yards. That's all that matters. And that's why you can tell. You can make that claim long before that Vanderbilt's winning this game because you can't speed them up. If they get a first down, you're fucked. Like you can't come back when they get first down. So to me,
Service Academy teams break models.
Yes.
It's why Service Academies as huge dogs have always had so much success because the numbers are just, if you can't just take their basic numbers because they shorten the game. Their success rate is that like people that have models, the Service Academies break them. You have to treat them completely separately. And the Vandy's basically an SEC Service Academy. What have they done this year? Covered with ease against Missouri, should have won, beat Va Tech as 2 touchdown favorites, and beat Alabama as 3+ touchdown underdogs. I mean,
another thing. Oh no, go ahead. Go ahead.
I just gonna say that's who they are. And then they're a double-digit favorite, where that doesn't work as well, and they lose to Georgia State. So yeah, you have to treat those teams differently, and they're going to be ideal to back as double-digit underdogs.
Yeah. I mean, there's just nothing you can do about it. It's the same reason I took like a 200-1 out on Diego Pavia to lead the SEC in rushing. Got a little bit of a Le'Veon Moss problem there, but still, I mean, it's like, this is what this offense is. We knew it, Jerry Kill. Boy, my God, does Jerry Kill own the state of Alabama? They still have Auburn to play. I mean, this.
Pavia most wins as a 2 touchdown plus dog, most outright wins going into yesterday, more than any other quarterback of the past 20 years. Added another.
I want Vanderbilt in the Vegas Bowl. Brett, you better make those bowl projections. I want Vanderbilt in the Vegas Bowl representing the SEC. Make it happen.
Versus Michigan. Get a Service Academy game big between the Big Ten and the SEC. All right, moving on.
The Hoosiers, we're now 6-0. We've covered every game. Sig, no question, 4th and 5. He's going for it. Gets the cover. This offense, it's an absolute wagon. They've gone over their team total in all 6 games. The defense, there's some question marks, but we're not worried. Nebraska, October 19th, we're coming for you.
What's up, Stuck and Colin? Just giving you guys a shout. Horns aren't playing this week, so I thought I would really dive in to making some picks. I love Stuck. Been with him forever. He had a rough run. So I was like, you know what? This week, I won't go with Stuck. Let's check out Colin's picks. Best picks. Can't pick the Aggies. All right, let's go with the Ohio State, Iowa over. That's a whiff. I go check. Colin still has a winning schedule. Go check Stuck. Wait a second. Stuck has the under on that game. He's got a winning record. Why do I keep going 1-5 every time I follow y'all, even when you have winning weeks?
Sometimes it's like that. I hear that from a lot of people. You just can't. Sometimes I think what you have to do is just you either have to it's hard to follow someone and pick and choose. You're going to be picking the wrong weeks to tail this person. Also, too many people tail everybody. Don't do that. You're going to juice yourself out. You're just all right, these 10 people that I trust on whatever apps or Twitter, and I know people that just follow them all, and you have 110 plays on a Saturday. Don't do that. You pick someone that you trust and want to ride with long term. You're going to have ups and downs. Make sure they have a long term track record, or just if you have some thoughts on the game, listen to people that you trust, and then have them convince you one way or the other, and you're ultimately making the decision. I think that's how it works best. So I'm sorry that didn't work out for you on Saturday. We'll send you some gear. Reach out, podcast@actionnetwork.com. By the way, we got to go over the whiteboard transparency.
Oh, boy.
The white trash 2-0. UL Monroe outright. Vandy outright. The games we agreed on. Houston TCU under. That was nice. That fumble late. Washington winner. Cal winner. Arkansas first half and full game winner.
I like this board. Except you're going to go over this head-to-head where this Iowa, Caleb Johnson only got one explosive run for me, God damn it.
You tweeted it out. You made sure to tweet it out. Yeah, Iowa, Ohio State goes under, and then Colorado State covers against Oregon State.
Can Avery Morrow quit running the ball? Good God, Beavers, get a defense.
I told you they're going to get Morrow going. Oregon State's run D is horrifying. So 2-0 head-to-head. 4-0, more importantly, because that's what we want when you guys listen to the pod, is the games that we agree on. And then it's good when we disagree, and you can choose which argument you like. But the games that we agreed on went 4-0/5-0. And the trash, I should have had them in the money in my round robin. UL Monroe and Vandy. Man, I wouldn't be here today. Be on an island. You'd be doing this pod by yourself.
I think it's important to listen when you and I agree, because at our core, I'm a math guy that looks for spots, and at your core, you're a spot guy that looks for math. And like when we meet in the middle, it usually works out right. So that's my advice for everybody. If like you're switching between Stuck and I, listen to where we really like a game on the same side. And then if we differ, which I can tell you we will on Army Navy totals for the rest of our lives, then, pick a side and let's have fun.
You mentioned post-game win expectancies don't capture service academies correctly. Not this year. Army and Navy, there's no question about their post-game win expectancies. Wake up, bet Army and Navy. I spent my entire week trying to find winners. All you gotta do is just wake up, bet Army, Navy, and unfortunately for you, Indiana. That's
my God, that cover by Signetti had to shove it in.
He doesn't stop. The Northwestern turns the ball over on downs late. I thought you were good when they got the first fourth down, and then they throw 4 straight incomplete passes. And then Indiana gets a front door cover. That's like their second or third of the year. They had one against FIU, I think, earlier in the season.
Northwestern.
So Indiana, congrats. Pop the champagne.
Yeah.
Win total cashed. Bowl eligible. 6-0. Will be ranked. And, all Signetti does is win. Could be undefeated playing Ohio State later in the year. What is their schedule? Their schedule's they host Nebraska.
I'll give you the projected spreads.
Okay, host Nebraska.
They should be -2 hosting Nebraska.
Host Washington.
They should be -3.5 hosting Washington off a bye.
At Sparty.
They should be about 8-point favorites over Sparty.
Home against Michigan.
I've got him as a favorite. Holy shit, I got him as
I have him as a favorite.
What are we talking about?
Defending national champions, a dog at Indiana.
How big is this Indiana-Ohio State game? By the way,
Ohio State. At Ohio State. So, and then home against Purdue. By the way, Purdue, unbettable. This team, they had one of their better players leave the team too last week. They don't come close to covering. I mean, what did they lose this week? It was 52-6?
To Wisconsin. Did you see Wisconsin's wide receivers getting like 5 yards of separation? That's how bad the corners are for Purdue.
589. Yeah. Wisconsin. 589 yards, 8 yards per play.
The Longo offense is back.
Purdue has taken a shit ton of money a couple times this year, too. Against Notre Dame, against Oregon State. That line, I don't know who's out there slamming Purdue, but they're probably in the poorhouse. I mean, this team just gets leveled every week. All right.
Can I say something about Indiana real quick?
Yeah.
If they post game of the years, guys, don't forget that Ohio State game comes the week before Ohio State plays Michigan. And that game is so critical to Ohio State and the Buckeyes because of what's happened the last 3 years. Indiana is in such a spot on November 23rd. Oh my God. What a spot getting Ohio State there.
Yeah. Should be an interesting team to follow. All right, moving on.
Stuck, Colin. Just wanted to give a shout out to everybody who handed out the UNLV Syracuse under. Got that thing bet all the way down to 55.5. Thank you. Cash money on the over. Let's go.
Hey, Colin. You guys talked a lot about accountability on the podcast last week. and now I'm here to keep you accountable. You've got to stop betting weekday games. Let's look at this. Jacksonville State first half, under that same game, under live, Oregon, New Hampshire, UTEP first half, Troy, going back to last week, Washington, Rutgers over, Washington, But hey, you did win the Houston TCU under by a point. We all make these little funny jokes about, hey, it's media days, cash your tickets. Put it this way, I'm going to rip up my ticket if you ever bet another weekday game. Stop it, Colin.
Listen, we talked about this on the
bad beats. I'm following along this week. There's a host. There's a host of horrible beats in there that you just listed off.
Yeah, that Grady Gross field goal miss for Washington cost me not just Washington, but cost me the over too. So, and then what happened with Jonathan Smith kicking a field goal to cover the 23 on Oregon? That was a little brutal. It's been rough on Friday nights. It's been rough. I woke up on some Saturday mornings questioning my process, but no, we'll keep at it. We'll get it turned around.
In the Navy, it's a team you gotta bet. In the Navy, it's one you'll never sweat. Let's go! Stuckey, you are a...
Duty, honor, covering spreads. If you're not blindly clicking Army football every week, you either hate money or you hate America. Either way, you're an idiot.
Colin Wilson, another swing and a miss on the analysis. You were so sure Texas A&M would stop Missouri in the red zone. Well, guess what? You didn't consider that we would stay off their half of the field the entire game. Ha! Can't outthink the drink. MIZ. I hate this team.
Yeah, I guess I didn't handicap the fact that Texas A&M's quality drives kept Missouri from doing it. I don't want to boast about Texas A&M. I mean, they did take him to the woodshed and beat him with a stick. But at the same time, Missouri had a 75-yard Luther Burden touchdown catch, like called back from a lineman that was nowhere.
Yeah, they had some bad calls
Yeah,
early,
they did.
but they couldn't stop him.
Right.
That's what it comes down to. I don't care what kind of oil money was in the refs' pockets. They couldn't stop him. 512 yards, 9 yards per play. I knew that Missouri defense had holes. I didn't think it was going to be that bad.
It's bad. It's bad. Their offense is broke too. This A&M thing, I might have to get in on this playoff thing and do a hedge against Texas. I don't know. This isn't stopping. Weigman looked fan-fucking-tastic. At the same time, it is Missouri secondary, which was a primary handicap to say if Connor Weigman's coming into this game, it's actually a huge benefit to the Aggies. So we move on, but man, the Aggies they're stout.
All right, I think I got this. Hopefully, got this Jets tease home. Sorry for watching. I've been distracted. I mean, look, I have an A&M playoff ticket. Yep. Probably, like just from it's such a long way to go. It's hard to say now, but from just a pure equity standpoint, that was one of my futures that took the biggest ticks up because, I mean, look what happened across the rest of the SEC. They get a win over a top 10 team, and Alabama goes down and Tennessee goes down. So, by the way, great call on. We hit our underdog money line parlay too.
Yep.
With Wake Forest. NC State is bad. I've been trying to tell everybody they're so bad. I hope Grayson McCall's okay though. By the way, he got blown up, and it was scary. Got stretchered out. He weighed. I haven't seen an update on him yet, but NC State is a bad football team. One of the reasons why I was okay still fading Tennessee. I just didn't I kept seeing NC State, but you had Florida. Great call. I mean, UCF, they're dead. I mean, what was that? I mean, they averaged 2.7 yards per carry.
KJ looks like he's giving up.
I mean, they had a receiver who had a touchdown against Colorado, hit the portal. That's like a bad sign for, that was like I thought about it. I was like, is that a precursor for, or just like, is it kind of signaling that the locker room is kind of checked out on their season after that loss to Colorado? Because to Colorado, not only do they lose, they get trucked in the spot of all spots. You're coming off of a bye at home. Colorado coming across the country playing heat humidity, and you get destroyed. That was head scratching. And then you see them against Florida. It kind of makes more sense.
If you watch KJ Jefferson's body language, so when you run RPO with RJ Harvey, right? You put the biscuit in the basket in the running back's stomach, and then you can pull and go. And when you let your running back take it and he goes, you're supposed to still fake the play. You're still supposed to pull back and run the other way and give that element of a fake for defensive contain. KJ Jefferson does not move after every handoff. He doesn't care about helping to block. He doesn't care about finishing the play. I've never seen him that checked out in my life. I mean, listen, there against Colorado, he finished plays. Just go back and watch the tape against Florida. Literally handed off and stood there like a statue. And even the times RJ Harvey was stuffed, KJ is not going to help block. I mean, you're right. I mean, hitting the portal, a wide receiver that scored a touchdown, hitting the portal, something's really bad with UCF, and they're going to be unbettable for a while.
Aaron from Nebraska, I think you guys should make at least a decree for this whole season that App State should be just thrown in the trash. Just stop betting them. Holy wow. Stuck, don't even reach in that trash. Don't be a raccoon and just nibble on it. No, they're just trash. Leave them there. Holy wow.
Guys, I will say that, yeah, I got to dig more into that game, but I will say that they were in a tough spot with the storms. I hope everyone in that area is doing okay. How the reservoirs of the water coming down, combine that with gravity, just ravished some towns. Boone got hit really hard, so they were in a bad spot just preparation wise, and probably other things going on with just mentally. So I don't know if I want to dock them too much, but the game against South Alabama was, yeah, obviously for a team that couldn't stop the run last year. That's what I'm worried about. By the way, did you see our Arkansas State boys with a last second win?
Yeah,
keeping some life. They beat South Alabama, some life for their Sun Belt chances. ULM in first place all alone at 2-0. All right,
not going to be 90-1 anymore.
Oregon and Michigan State. I'm sitting here with an Oregon -24 ticket, only to watch Dylan Gabriel throw 2 interceptions in the end zone. And then Michigan State score a meaningless field goal with 30 seconds left and lose. All the while, I have to watch this stupid game that's been over since the first half instead of watching Syracuse UNLV, which is a legitimately awesome game. Michigan State. Oregon doesn't have a killer instinct, dude. They're not going to win anything this year, Oregon.
I can't figure out what's wrong with Oregon. Everything is just a little off. I think they just miss Bo Nix's legs.
Right.
And his mobility and the QB run threat. I think that element missing from the offense, and then Gabriel's not been great either. I mean, with the red zone picks, but I think that's what I'm seeing that's missing. Obviously we're going to do a deep dive into both teams, which I'm looking forward to do because we kind of got a little more data points. They haven't been the best for Ohio State, but they both played Michigan State. Similar games as far as score, except Jonathan Smith kicked the field goal late, unfortunately for you. But yeah, we're going to deep dive because that's a huge game next weekend. So won't spend too much time. But what do you got?
Similar to Bo Nix, Dylan Gabriel's average depth of target is 6.5 yards. Not similar to Bo Nix. Already 4 turnover-worthy plays, 2 of them coming against Michigan State. This is why I did not understand the steam on 14-1 on the Heisman all the way down to 7-1 preseason. I never understood it because Dylan Gabriel has never shown that he can take an elite step up, even in an offense like Oklahoma. So,
is the odds-on favorite right now?
Who is
for Heisman?
No, I don't know. I don't know who is it. It's not Jalen. Is it Travis Hunter?
It's Genty right now.
Yeah,
it is.
I don't want to be at the top of this leaderboard.
You don't, but it's Genty. I think he's what did I see today? It was super low. It was
Here, I'm going to look
Let's
it up.
see. Genty is plus 200.
Oh, good gracious. Travis Hunter didn't even play. He went from 7-1 to 3-1.
Yeah, Nico, oof, that's done. Milrose chances obviously took a hit. But Genty, the thing is, I have to respect Boise. They won 62-30. Genty, depending on the number you got, he did go under. He went 13 for 186 and 3 touchdowns. His numbers are huge. He doesn't play in the second half. He didn't play in the second half. He went for 186 and 3 touchdowns. Against Portland State, they didn't play in the second half. So I respect Boise for doing that because they're not trying to. The kid also has an NFL future. They could easily just run him into the ground or like, hey, let's get you a Heisman. Still got a shot to do that. But they have bigger aspirations, right? They want to win the Mountain West. They want to go to the College Football Playoff. So they're not running him into the ground in these games where they're gonna win by 30. So and he's still putting up nearly 200 a pop. So yeah, he's your new favorite. Travis Hunter behind him. But yeah, long way to go with the Heisman. As you can see, dude, there's just going to be chaos, and then quarterback loses a big game, drop. So, all right, moving on.
Callan is stuck. Nice call on Cal spread, by the way. Won me some money, but I also had Cal's money line in the parlay with Arkansas, Minnesota, San Jose State, Washington, Florida, and Georgia Tech. I don't even know where to begin. How do you not call a targeting on that play? It's like nobody knows what a targeting is. I'm just pissed. I would have won so much money. These don't make sense.
I agree. But Miami comes back. I was up watching. I can never go to sleep before the last game ends. It's a disease that I've had since I was a kid. I watched that game. Everyone's gonna wake up and be like, "Oh, Miami won." They were down 25 in that game. I was like, I don't know. And I tweeted out, I don't know if that's what's going to be called here. And everyone's telling me it's textbook targeting. I said, I just sat here for 15 hours watching college football. I've seen targeting called 50 different ways, called and not, and no one knows. The refs don't know. It's all made up. And like, seriously, that to me, that textbook wise, like the definition, like I didn't, that was probably targeting. But it's not. No one knows. Seriously, no one knows what targeting is. It's like back in the day of the NFL, no one knew what a catch was for a while. No one knows what targeting is. It's completely subjective on a game-by-game basis, and Miami wins the game because of it. But Cam Ward, I did call Cam Ward. I tweeted out, oh God, I got to hear these announcers talk about Cam Ward being calm until he throws a third quarter pick six. What do you know? First possession of the third quarter, he throws a pick six.
Yep.
Our underdog gods, Wilcox and Sammy Pittman, both came through.
What other podcast had somebody say, I think Noel Williams is going to pick Cam Ward off and take one back. See if you can find a prop. I was shocked when I saw Noel Williams. I was like, man, the numbers say it's going to happen, but holy shit, it actually happened. Oh, and by the way, shocker, ACC ref crew helping Miami get to the window. I'm not surprised.
Not sold on that team. I don't think they have I don't think they have national title upside.
No. Not when Georgia's defensive line got healthy. If they met them in the playoff, no thanks.
Nope. And it's Mario. Mario tried to give the game away too with his clock management. Bad again. Wilcox burning the timeout was bad too on like 3rd and 20. Miami got it anyway. He needed that late to give them a shot at the field goal, but Miami does survive. That was going to be the 5th top 10 or 11 upset of the day, but they do get the win. Cal gets the cover in Woke versus Coke. All right, moving on.
This Hawaii team. This kid is taking some of the worst sacks I've ever seen in my life. Standing in the pocket like nothing's going on. Like it's the Friday walkthrough. Game on the line, 4th and 20. We complete a pass to keep the game alive. And then it's 3rd and 20 after he takes another awful sack, and we complete an 18-yard pass. 4th and 2. Surely we're going to call the best play in the playbook, right? A bubble screen. Are you kidding me? That's what we draw? What's his coach's name? Timmy Chang? I can't believe what I just saw. And then we don't have 3 timeouts because we're using them on defense for no reason. What a joke.
Every time there's a Penn State game.
Yeah, just real quick on Hawaii, we lost our first nowhere fast by just a couple points. They made it to 51. I think we closed at 49. So we'll take that one. Hawaii made it a game, gave it up at the end. Not only did we lose the Hawaii +2, also lost the under. So craziness in the Mountain West.
Every time there's a Penn State game, how the do we not know that this team is just never it? The first couple games, they face poverty. James Franklin runs up the score. Oh, yeah, Penn State's good this year. But James Franklin, you can never count on that guy. Whatever side you're on, if you're on his side, you. Small game James. I hate this guy. He hates cash. You.
This message is for Stuckey and James Franklin. We're on the goal line. Not even covered, just push 28 with 6 minutes left. They haven't been able to stop Drew Aller and third down in the red zone the whole game. Let's throw the backup in. This has to be point shaving. I hope James Franklin gets found out by the mob. Take him out to the Atlantic or the Great Lakes. They might be close to there too. I don't know.
Hey, James Franklin. Apparently there's two morons on a podcast that think that you know what the spread is and that you're just going to put the hammer down like that out there in Bloomington, Indiana. But apparently you haven't gotten the memo that you need to beat the out of other teams and win with margin to help not only us degenerates, but to maybe help your case with getting into the playoff. Go yourself, James Franklin.
This is my rant of the week. I throw my hands up. I don't know. I cannot get a Penn State side right. It's been years. I used to fade them as a favorite. I would get a good number, and they would cover. And you say that James Franklin doesn't know the spread. It would do fake knees against me. Now, the last 2 weeks, I've backed Penn State. Had a -17 against Illinois. Closes to 18. -27.5 this week. Closes 30. Doesn't matter. UCLA, backup quarterback, backup offensive lineman. They shipped and doesn't matter. I mean, yeah, and on third down, a chance to it would have covered for me. I had 27. They take out Aller and just QB run it. I sick of Penn State. I can't bet their games. I can never get them right. I think Franklin, honestly, my only explanation is I have clowned Franklin so much that he listens to the podcast and he finds out what I bet, and then he just ensures that I don't cover. That's it. My only explanation.
There's a real chance that might actually be true.
Every time. So Penn State, USC this week.
Yeah, I've already bought it. Penn State.
I'm going to be relying on you.
Yeah, I've already bought it.
I can't bet Penn State. I can't bet it.
I'll find. You're going to rely on me, but you're not going to bet it?
No, I mean, like, I can't bet the side. I might. If you convince me, I'll see if you can convince me. I'm gonna take a look at the total.
It's Sunday morning. I got it at 3. It's at 3.5. I think it's going to get up to about 5.5, 6. So we'll see. We'll see where the number goes.
Calling in 10 beers deep outside the bar, dude. I knew Stuckey was due for a good day after last week, but the only bet I tailed from that is Penn State -27.5. And listen, I thought that James Franklin played for covers, but no, the Bruins come in hot to Happy Valley, and Penn State gets the cover.
Hey, boys, I know it's not even halftime yet, but my under Purdue, Wisconsin, 44.5 is just cooked. There needs to be an internal investigation against Purdue's returner, Wisconsin's quarterback. Sitting at home frickin' making my own GD Jimmy John subs because I'm trying to save money. Newsflash, wife. Deli meat's like $10 a pound. It's over. Have a good night. Day. I don't even care.
Fix it, Kamala. Sandwich meat should not be $10 a pound.
I'm here to let it all out. Are you kidding me? Tennessee? Tennessee's right there. Their quarterback, Nico, whatever the hell his last name, said that he was going to win the Heisman. Nico's sitting there at the end of the game, and the guy doesn't even throw it in the end zone? He doesn't even give anybody a chance? All of us who are sitting there with Tennessee money line, he doesn't even give his guy a chance? He does nothing? He runs out of bounds? Are you kidding me? They suck. Never bet on Tennessee. Never give advice to bet on Tennessee. You shouldn't advise anybody about that.
Well,
we
good
didn't.
news. You'll never hear that from me. Advice to bet on Tennessee. I was finally correct there. And yeah, so that you got to throw the ball up, Nico. He's just a kid. Cut him some slack. But Heupel, I mean, what do they have? Like 10 yards in the first half?
Yeah.
And I was worried because I was like, oh my God, Arkansas is dominating this game. How are they only up 3-0? And
They left 17 points off the board.
I know.
God. But Travis Williams, defensive coordinator for Arkansas, just blindsided the Tennessee offense. 28% success rate for Tennessee in passing downs. You got to be able to sling it second and third down when you get behind the chains. 28%. They averaged 3.9 yards in passing downs. Here's one I couldn't believe. Tennessee did not create a single methodical drive and 11 offensive possessions. That means they never had one drive that had 10 plays. They only created one explosive. These are not good numbers whatsoever. 38% of available yards to Arkansas's 54% of available yards. Listen, the Tennessee offense, I think it was best said on the telecast, is you play stiff defense, you force a 3 and out, you don't let this road team that's been off for 2 weeks get into rhythm, which, what's funny is you were saying all week, like Josh Heupel, best first half cover, but the whole thing about Mike Leach, still sits inside of me when you get these veer and shoot air raid offenses and get time off. Yeah, it's still, when you're a timing offense, I still think it's a good shot for us as bettors to go against that in the first half.
Yeah. No, that's a good point. By the way, Big 12, more chaos. Kansas is snake bit. I mean, I've never seen a team just every week just lose in heartbreaking fashion. Oak State is a corpse. I watched that game. I had West Virginia. Watched that entire game. Oak State was lifeless. Lifeless. It was a sad effort. I mean, UCF looked lifeless.
Yep.
Here's who's in first. Who's in first place? The Big 12, Texas Tech. The other undefeated teams in the Big 12 are Texas Tech, BYU, Iowa State, Colorado, and West Virginia. You got Kansas State at 500. Arizona wins at Utah, then loses to Texas Tech. UCF looks like a corpse. Houston beats TCU. It is just chaos. Baylor is a corpse. So hopefully Iowa State gets there for us.
How big is Kansas State, Colorado as a game just to see who's going to join Iowa State here? I mean, somebody's got to pop out here. Somebody's got to show out.
Underrated game, though, this week, too, is Iowa State at West Virginia.
Yeah.
That'll be a good one that we'll talk about this week. All right, moving on.
Oh, I wish I was on old Rocky Top down where they Josh Heupel, that fat doesn't know how to coach. He sucks ass. Arkansas, in typical fashion, trying to throw the way. Here you go, Tennessee. Here you go, Tennessee. 500 yards to 2 yards at the end of the first half, and we're only up 3. We're going to lose. Nope. The power of Sammy.
Best part about today was finally calling Arkansas did something. Big win, stuck, looking like you're going to go 10-0. Appreciate the picks, appreciate the pod. And next week, Oregon's going to dominate and beat the hell out of Ohio State, which will be shown as a fraud. Thanks, boys.
Oh, you know who this is. It's Martin from Florida. Happy Saturday, gents. Listen, this is more of a personal type of voice, but I just wanted to give a shout-out, a hug, and a congrats to Colin. Listen, you guys sit here and you grind your asses off and you do all these gambling, but at the end of the day, you guys got teams that you cheer for. Now, they're not as good as the team I cheer for. Ohio State's the best team in the country. But nevertheless, dude, Colin, that's a great win, man. I'm so happy for you. Much love. Much love to you guys. Cheers. By the way, if you don't bet Ohio State this coming Saturday, I'm really sorry about you losing money. That's it.
Oh, that's the last one. Hold on. Let me make a fictitious line here.
While you're doing that, yeah, I like those back-to-back calls saying Oregon is going to roll, and you better not bet Oregon. So we'll see where we end up going.
Yeah, Martin, Ohio State would be a 17-point favorite over Arkansas at a neutral. So yeah, no worry about my hogs stepping up on your porch. Don't worry about it.
All right, fun show. It was a good week for the pod. Hopefully, keep it going. There's going to be good weeks. It's going to be bad weeks. Just how it works. Fortunately, was a bit more pleasant this week after a good weekend. So that's always nice. But, that last week was last week. It's all about next week now. Stay humble, keep grinding. So thanks to Colin for joining me as always. Thanks to all the voicemail callers, 959 Bad Beat. Thanks to our producers. By the way, YouTube channel, BBOC, help us grow that. Even if you don't watch things on our YouTube channel, just go there and hit subscribe. That'll help us out. You know the drill. Hit subscribe, unsubscribe, tell a friend, tell an enemy. New BCS will be back. How safe is Sammy Pittman now? Is Sonny Dykes got to go? We'll talk some coaching stuff. We'll talk some Heisman. We'll do some trivia, talk some other higher level stuff. Group of 5 guys who sadly can't talk about Diego Pavi as much as they want to since I've stolen him. They'll be back midweek, and then Colin will be back with the entire week 7 college football betting preview. Great slate. Week 8 might be even better. We're in the thick of it now. So it's time for us to go get to work, find some winners. We will see you later this week. Cheers.
Peace out.